with the one and only Darienne Lake. Looking, like she's slaying. I was trying to find a different fan. Looking like she's working.
Yes, I was working and I was pulling a sleigh for Santa.
Yeah.
You know, a sturdy girl, you know, up north, used to it. You know, I live in Narnia.
Do you still live up in Rochester?
I still live up
in
there.
In your parents' basement?
Yeah, you know, mom and dad.
You're still throwing your drag out the window?
Yeah. No, my parents are good, you know, white people. They've moved to Florida and, you know, whatever. And,
oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're down in Florida. I go down and visit them when the snow starts to fly. And, yeah, so I try and get out of the cold whenever I can. And,
can we revisit the end of the Ricky Lake story? Because, because at that time, what was that, like 94 or something like that?
94, 95.
I mean, like, being on Ricky Lake, being on TV was quite a huge thing.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It wasn't like now where everybody's kind of on TV all the time, like this show or whatever else.
Yeah.
But then, like, that was like a real thing. So when it came out, did your mom end up seeing it?
So my sisters had seen it. Actually, they were home, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're on the Ricky Lake show." I was like, "Yeah."
Just by accident? You didn't tell them?
I did not. No, I would have to keep the secret. Like, I'm really good at keeping secrets. And then my dad came home, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're watching Greg on Ricky Lake." And he's like, "Oh, throw a tape in. Put a tape in." And so they were like, "Oh, okay." And then my mother comes home. And she looks at the TV, and she walks in the other room, and she grabs the phone. She's like, boop, 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 boop. And my phone rings. I'm like, hello? She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. Watching the Ricky Lake show. I was like, oh, God, I'm in trouble now. I have to move away. I got to move out of the country. You're embarrassing me. You're killing your mother. You're killing me right now. This is sick. This is perverted. It's disgusting. People are laughing at you. And then, so I'm just like, you know, I understand, blah, 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 but, you know, it's about theater, it's about fun, it's about, you know, making people laugh and enjoying, you know, and being a clown. And she just didn't get it. And so we sort of agreed to disagree, and she hung up the phone. And then, like, a half an hour later, she calls, and she's like, Mary Buell from down the street called. And she said that she saw you on Ricky Lake, too. I have to kill myself. You know, and I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, and then she said her daughter Meredith goes to your shows and asked if I wanted to go with her. I was like, oh, what'd you say? She's like, I said, I don't think so. So, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, you know? I'm going to live my life. And then it was like another period of like not talking to each other and all that stuff. But my sisters were always sort of bridging the gap between us, because then my mother would be like, so how's Gregory doing, you know? And they're like, you know what? If you have a question, ask him. You know, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know? So that always kind of helped. And I'm so grateful for, you know, my sisters for doing that. Like, I'm not like this soft and squishy, like, warm, lovey person, you know, because that's not really how we were brought up.
Right.
You know? So, so it's, you know, it means so much to me. But I'm not going to be one to be like, you know, oh my God, you know, like, you've changed my life and I'm going to cry.
Right, so you're your mother's you're your mother's daughter, and you wouldn't call either, so you both would just be at a stalemate.
And that's the thing too. It's like you get to a point where you're sitting there drinking Jack Daniels, throwing rocks at cars, and you think, I've become my mother.
Exactly.
You know, so you know, yeah. So it's funny because like Kasha Davis always talks about like how her character is based on her mother. And mine's sort of a blend of like Dolly Parton in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. It's also a little bit of my mother, you know, a little bit of my father. My father's like very dry in his sort of sense of humor. My mom would be like, I don't know what to be for, you know, Halloween. He's like, brush your hair and put on lipstick. Nobody will fucking recognize you. And it was just sort of their like kind of thing. And so like my dad is very hilarious, but like sort of dry. And I guess I've gotten some of that. Like, and any holiday that we get together, we're always like telling jokes and that kind of thing and making each other laugh, you know. Because of, you know, all the years that we made each other cry.
Because of all the tears. Everything tastes better with tears. This tea has tears in it. Oh.
Yeah. Mine has Jack Daniels.
Yes, we want to get you nice and loose, sweetie. All right, we're going to be back with more Darienne Lake and her secrets from Drag Race right after this.
Well, children, to see part 3 of this interview, click here. To see more Hey Qween fabulousness, click here. And don't forget to subscribe! right, bitch. Hey! Hey! Hey!